Did Nintendo just hint at Splatoon 3's lore? Pardon my voice. It's currently 2:30 in the morning. I was editing a video, and then I saw this popping up everywhere on Twitter. It seems that Nintendo has posted a picture on their Instagram of Pearl, Callie, and Marie, but no Marina, in a caption saying the stars from hashtag Splatoon and hashtag Splatoon 2 are staying fresh, even if it's frosty. But where's Marina? And this has people speculating maybe Nintendo's hinting at future lore for Splatoon 3, or maybe they're starting the lore, or maybe it's DLC. The reason why people would think that they're hinting at this kind of stuff is Nintendo and the Squid Research Lab, the people behind Splatoon, have done this in the past, have hinted things to us of future updates and future games. One example would be Nintendo had posted a job application for I believe it was a tax accountant, and they put a picture of Yoshi with it, seemingly poking fun at Yoshi commits tax fraud, the meme. It shows that they're very aware of the jokes that they put out there. And as for the Squid Research Lab, we've seen them do this before as well. After Splatoon 1 had ended, the final Splatfest was Callie versus Marie. Callie had then lost, and then leading up to Splatoon 2, we started seeing a bunch of lore come out on Nintendo's official Tumblr at the time, showing that Callie was seemingly missing and wondering where she was, only to hint what people were thinking, that she ended up getting salty, upset, and then that ended up starting Splatoon 2's lore, preceding Splatoon 1's lore finishing up. So it's obvious Nintendo knows what they're doing based on their track history, but then the question remains, are they just willfully trying to trick us and just trying to play and poke fun at us because they know that that's what we expect? Or are they actually trying to hint that they're working on the lore, or they're going to be giving us updates? A lot of people are skeptical that this could be anything, thinking that it could just simply be a joke. One of the reasons I could see that is the Splatoon 2 development team is currently working on Animal Crossing, which is coming out in a couple months, March 20th. I'm pretty sure they're wrapping up the game, but as they develop that, could they really be this close to working on Splatoon 3 or having it finished up? They could be writing lore. That wouldn't be a tough thing to do. But would they be showing us this lore so far into the future before we've seen Splatoon 3 announced, or any kind of footage of it, or any time to really develop it? When we saw the lore being revealed on Nintendo's Tumblr for Splatoon 2, the game had already been pretty much developed. They were still working on it, but we already had a trailer. We already had an official announcement that the game was coming out. Unfortunately, being the biased fanboy I am, I can't officially say that Splatoon 3 is a thing, because Nintendo hasn't officially stated that Splatoon 3 is coming out, or that even Splatoon 2 DLC could be a thing. But here are my thoughts on it. The first question I gotta ask, if it is hinting anything, is it hinting at DLC for Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 3's story? And while I believe that DLC would come out before Splatoon 3, in my mind, it doesn't make sense to redevelop a whole game on the same hardware. They would just make DLC. Given that the Octo expansion DLC for Splatoon 2 was such an amazing seller, it did really well. It leads me to believe that DLC would be the next best option before Splatoon 3. But regarding this picture, if it is hinting anything, it would be at lore. And I don't think that they would put lore in DLC. They would set that for the next game, in Splatoon 3, set the foundation of the story of what happened after the Splatfest, and kind of repeat history that had happened between 1 and Splatoon 2. So in my mind, if it's hinting anything, it would probably be Splatoon 3. But then the bigger question arises in my head. Why are we seeing this now? As I said, the development team is still working on Animal Crossing. Maybe they're almost done. Maybe they'll randomly push it out early. I wish. But while they're working on it, how are they even close to finishing Splatoon 3? Splatoon 2 had already been announced. We already saw footage before we saw the lore on Tumblr. So why in this case would we see the lore and then seemingly a year or two later we see Splatoon 3 be released after it's been developed? That is, unless, however, they're going to be building Splatoon 3 off of Splatoon 2's engine. We've seen this with Majora's Mask, building off of Ocarina of Time, and we assume that we're going to be seeing Breath of the Wild 2 also building off of Zelda Breath of the Wild 1, so why wouldn't they do it in this case as well? But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Leave in the comments below. If you hear anything else, reach out to me on Twitter or in the comments section. And I'm planning to cover more updates on the channel regarding Splatoon 3 or DLC or whatever else they want to hand us. So if you like this type of thing, let me know. Leave a like, maybe subscribe, and have a good night. Bye-bye.